If you're thinking of quitting your job, you're not alone. In a research study done by Willis Towers Watson, they found that 70% of the best employees think they have to leave their job in order to advance their career, and 25% are at a high risk of quitting at any time. Joining us this morning, Lynda McNutt Foster, Executive Coach and CEO of Cortex Leadership Consulting, is here, and we're going to discuss how to make some small changes and get some big results. Good morning, Lynda. How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
Good
So
morning.
glad you're
Doing
here.
fantastic. It's Monday.
It is Monday,
Woot,
and so Lynda, if you could tell, like, why? What are some of the main reasons people leave their jobs?
Well, it's going back to the research. So if you're really ambitious, one of the things that you want is to get promoted. And so the number one reason is actually getting passed over for a promotion.
Ooh,
so you'll leave
okay.
your position or you'll leave the company if you're passed over. Things like you get a job and suddenly you realize that the job they promised you that you were doing is not the job that you're now doing. And things like, this is a big one that we hear, is that if you're doing exactly the same job as someone else and you find out they're getting paid significantly more money.
Yeah, it's a big no-no.
Yeah,
you kind of go crazy.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, things that, you know, what they say is that the triggers happen 8 months before you actually leave, which makes sense because something happens that frustrates you. Well, there's a process of, should I stay? Then there's a process of, I've got to start looking for a job. I've got to interview for a job. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are, I guess those are some of the signs that someone may be leaving their job. You know, they find out someone is making more than them, but they're doing the exact same job. They haven't gotten promoted. What are some other signs, or is there anything else that maybe some telltale signs?
Yeah. So what you want to be looking for is a change in behavior, even a slight modification. So all of a sudden, someone becomes disengaged. They start being tardy when they were never tardy before. You have this really passionate person that was involved in everything and lots of projects, and then they decide, they ghost you.
Right.
And suddenly they become quiet.
Okay.
And most of the time, people, that goes without notice, but if you watch people's behavior, you can see when they start withdrawing and disengaging.
If you're the supervisor, if you're the boss, you can kind of see it. You can kind of tell.
Well, and coworkers can tell. Yeah, and coworkers can probably tell because somebody who was really ambitious was taking on a lot of projects and tasks, and now they're not.
Well, what are some of the things employers can do to best serve their employees, to keep them, you know, retain them for longer?
You know, I wish this was rocket science, because if it was, there would be an explanation why employers don't do more of this.
Yeah.
They need to find out what will make people stay. And that's a lot of one-on-one conversations with your highest potential people. What do they actually need? What do they actually want in order for them to stay engaged, want to stay with you? And kind of give them what they want if possible. It's honestly, the research is clear that it's not normally money unless they're at the basic, you know, they're making $10 an hour and they can't feed their family. That's real, right?
Yeah.
For the really ambitious, your highest potential people, they want to develop. They want to know where they're going to be 5 years from now, and they want to have a clear path on how to get there. And if you do that, they'll donate some years to you at a lower pay
for sure.
to do that.
To do that. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. It's just it's Monday, and from what I've read in some survey at one point, Monday is like the day where most people look for another job or decide this is my last day or my last week, or you know, they want to kind of wrap it up on a Monday. They're already ready to disengage.
That's a really good point, and the fact that ambitious people feel or function. So they're functioning all week, and then over the weekend they start feeling and they start really reviewing the week and the months before and go, I'm done. And Monday morning is when, yes, indeed, lights up.
Today's the day. So if you're looking for another job, today's the day everyone's looking for another job. Thank you so much for joining us.